Welcome to AlbionTV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world, keeping you up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is Friday, the 24th of July, 2020, and I am your host, the Shozen One, and joining me today, as always, my co-host, the magnificent Bogul.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Everybody all right? Everybody doing okay? Celebrating still, right?
What are we celebrating?
Well, I'm on the test server here, and I'm standing next to the black market guy. One of the few rare occasions where you can see the guy in all his glory, by the way. There's nobody else standing in front of him. And there's still some colorful paper on the floor left from the anniversary celebrations.
Oh, you're talking about the anniversary celebration. Yes, it's quite a reason to celebrate. I'd have to agree. 3 years of Albion Online, pretty impressive stuff. And then this week we got all this fancy info about the great rise of Avalon content update that is just around the corner on August 12th. And yes, right now, a good chunk of this patch is available for you to check out ahead of time on the staging server where Bogul and I currently are. And you can see some people dueling with their fancy new weapons. And yeah, you could head over here with us and celebrate as well. I've got some fancy fireworks.
Neat, as Robin says.
Yeah, I feel special.
So what's on the show though today? Because we already spent the Wednesday show talking a little bit, at least, about that new release date, right? We are happy to finally have a date. It's right after the season finishes, almost, right? There's like 2 days of break in between after the season 9 ends, and then on what did we say? Wednesday, the 12th.
Tuesday's the patch. It's a Tuesday. Tuesday the 12th.
August 12th?
We will actually be here for that. Yeah. It's Wednesday?
Yep. It's Wednesday.
Okay. I can never do maths. They're hard. Somebody get me a napkin.
Anyhow, we finally have a date. We're excited. And we thought we want to show off more of all of the things that we didn't have time to show off yet. Maybe go through some other patch notes, even maybe look at some of the details. But then something else happened. We got blessed with another Devtalk today.
More developer conversations with the peoples of Albion. Exactly what we need here. This is the third and final update on the roads of Avalon.
Yeah, and
this is like Return of the King.
Well, it's a short but informative masterpiece again,
so,
right?
It's like if Return of the King started when they had all gotten back, and then the Hobbit got on the little boat and went to the moon.
To the moon.
Yeah, that's where they all go, Bogul. The elves go to the moon. That's why there are pillars on the back side of the moon that suck up your soul and send it to Vishnu or whatever.
What?
Sure.
Yes.
Sci-fi guy, whatever. L. Ron Hubbard. I can't keep these gods straight.
So, but since it's the AO Daily Show, we have a few very brief PSAs for you that we have to get through very briefly to remind everybody of the news, the things that are going on that not only corporate wants us to plug, but that are relevant for public interest, right? That's okay. First ones first.
Yeah, PSAs.
Sandbox is hiring. We mentioned it a few times. There are a few job openings. The link, I will put it in Twitch chat. It's not only the ones that were there, but there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a bunch of jobs open. If you are interested and maybe want to work at Sandbox, there is a possibility for you doing that. Maybe apply. Also, there is still a furniture blocking exploit that is currently ruled as an exploit. So don't trap people in their houses to extract value out of them.
What?
That's a no-go. Don't.
Wait. Explain that to me. How do you trap people in their houses to get value from them?
Well, you pretend that you have something to give, and then you make them go to a house of yours, and then you stand outside and block that exit with furniture, hoping they don't know that there is a stuck command that teleports you to the entrance of the island, and then you can charge ransom or something to let them go, because they will have the decision between suiciding and being stuck. And that
they should use the /stuck command.
Yes, so that is now ruled an exploit. Don't do it. Be nice. And it will also get fixed in Rise, by the way. It will change from 10 minutes every 24 hours to 3 minutes every 30 hours, something like this.
That sounds like you could use it a whole lot more and a whole lot faster. I hope it doesn't work inside of dungeons and get you out of those dungeons.
One other brief note that we had a brief update message from Elsa that a 500s account were banned due to a third-party currency purchases. We sort of talked about it when he posted it on a Tuesday. Don't do third-party currency purchases because it will get you banned.
Yes, it will eventually get you banned. Somebody will find you and they will, as Robin says, big clap you, and you'll be like, wait, all I did was
let my small cousin play with my computer after I got hacked.
I just left my computer unpassworded while I was hanging out.
And then my hamster ate my...
Yeah. It was my stepfather. He was playing on my account. He's never liked me or my red hair.
I like the hamster story more. That's more innocent. Okay. Yeah. But then we have the biggest thing that is part of the show today, Rise of Avalon update now on staging. It is the end of the season 9 that's currently happening, right? So it's nice to sort of have that immediately moving on, but also giving us something cool to do for the people who might be done with the season already, right? Do some testing.
Yeah, there's some testing to be done. I think everybody who's interested in the roads of Avalon and moving there should take the step to spend some time with their guilds. Maybe learn how hard it is to move back and forth a little bit. You have a few weeks to get this under wraps and figure out what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the time is quickly going by, and you're running out of time to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna want to
3, right? 2.5 weeks.
Not even 2.5 weeks. Yeah, Bogul. It's right around. It's Bogul. It's right around the corner.
I mean, we have the Crystal League season level 9s first, and then that's my next highlight, to be honest. But yeah, that's soon. That's soon.
Well, that's going to be quite the highlight for the season, as we're gonna go from that into the off-season tournament, where those guys who win their level 9s will move on to some kind of tournament after the season, details of which are yet to be unveiled to me, other than the massive prize you'll get for winning.
Yeah, we don't know yet when. That's
no, we don't know how you're going to get the Sabertooth Rex, but if you do, you'll.
I was just speaking of highlights, and I forgot to mention something that probably was a highlight for many. The fame boost is done now.
So. It ended this week, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it ended today for this past week. It was all week long until today, and now we're done. Back to normal fame.
Yeah, back to being normal Albions. Maybe sleep some after you didn't sleep for a week.
Oh gosh. Yeah, who was it? The guy I had bopped to yesterday on the stream said he was going to stay up for the next 24 hours. Fame farming. You had to get the last bit of fame in.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that's still ongoing is the auction week, by the way. It's on test server. You can't, well, I suppose you can see it, but the plots in the cities are for auction still right now until Sunday. So if you were interested in bidding some for plots, now is the time to do that. Don't forget to defend your building. And while I'm at the map, I can show something. Like if I click this, do you see that? That's a new feature.
That is a cool new feature.
Yeah, if you're looking for...
I'm going to tell you that would have saved me a lot of looking through buildings. I'm glad. Quality of life. Bogul, I have to say this is one of the things that we continually praise SBI for is not forgetting the little things forever and eventually fixing them. Because there's constant little... But don't talk about the map, Bogul. Don't. I know you were going to say it. Like, the constant little features are fixed over time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been nice. We're always talking about these new quality of life features. And yes, one day you'll be able to zoom all the way out of the map and be able to see things. Fingers crossed. Knocking on wood. Throwing salt over my shoulder.
Well, I still have a list of things that but we are not here to complain today. We're here to look at the news, the updates, the cool stuff that's going on. In regards to staging, I suppose one disclaimer as well, the build on staging is work in progress, and no features, items, or stats should be considered final until the update goes live. Additionally, some features of this update, such as new language options, we'll talk about that later, and vanity items are not available on the staging server. So some of the things we will have to wait for, but most of the things we can already discuss at least.
Well, I mean, we can discuss those vanity items anyway. We've seen pretty pictures of them. They look great.
True.
It looks poisonous. Looks deadly.
That one.
I kind of want to have that face mask.
I want the poisons.
The poison to hold in your hand, like you're just carrying it around.
If it glows?
Yeah, I have to give something up for that though. Like, and that's the problem. What do you give up so that you can hold that poison? And for me, it's my horn, and I would have to give away my trumpet. And I don't think I want to do that. No, Staff of Hermes is my offhand. And I could keep my Staff of Hermes in one hand and my poison in the other, but then I'd have to give up my trumpet. And I don't know, being able to, unless that poison makes a glug glug sound. Oh, if it glug glugs and then throws up, oh my God, if those are two different, yes, sign me up for that. Maybe he gets sick and retches.
Yeah, there are some of the screenshots that are, I mean, promotional, right? That one, the jumping dude here, with a shield and the lance.
How does he do that?
I don't know how he did that.
I don't have a jump button.
That looks kind of cool.
That's cheating.
I think he probably cropped an attack thing, moved it up in Photoshop, so it looks like he's jumping. Still cool though. Still cool. Or that one.
That one looks pretty good. That's a pretty decent one right there. I'll give that one some credit.
But are we ready to talk about today then? Are we ready to talk about?
We've just spent 15 minutes talking about yesterday, Bogul. Why don't we move into today?
Sure.
And why don't we go ahead and play that short video for the people of Albion and get them ready for part 3. We'll break it down. We'll talk about some of the cool features, talk about living in the wilderness. And I will pull a raffle. Guys, there's a raffle open. The button.
All right, let's go.
Hello and welcome everyone to another Albion Online Devtalk. Today's video is the third in our series covering the roads of Avalon. In previous episodes, we showed you how to get onto the Avalonian roads and what you can find when exploring the wilderness of Avalon. Now we want to show you an exciting new playstyle for guilds in Albion, living in Avalon. With the Rise of Avalon update, players will be able to explore the ancient Avalonian roads and find gateways to different zones of Avalon. Most of these zones will be sections of the roads, but there are some which are almost completely wilderness. In these special zones, crystal energy seeps into Avalon, forming pure crystals on some forest clearings. These provide enough magical energy to maintain a hideout's defenses despite the hostile mists which shroud the rest of Avalon. At these sites, guilds will be able to place hideouts during the battle time visible on the zone map. As usual, a hideout will need to be established and will be vulnerable during the first and the last minutes of its construction. Once established, the hideout will be protected just like in the open world. However, since there's no territory in the Avalonian wilderness, anyone with the required amount of siphoned energy in their inventory can break a hideout's defenses at the beginning of the zone's battle time. They can then attempt to attack the hideout, but as usual, once it loses a defense point, the hideout will become invulnerable until the next day's battle time. This is significant because no gateway connection to the zone will remain in position for a whole day, meaning the attacking side will have to stay in the zone with no access to reinforcements if they want to continue their attack. In fact, if you remember our first video, you'll know that each gateway only lets a small number of players in at a time, so even moving a significant attack force into the zone for an initial attack is quite challenging. Of course, an attacker always has the option of placing their own hideout in the region to reinforce from, but they'll first have to get that established too. As you can see, destroying a guild's hideout in Avalon will be significantly more challenging than destroying a hideout in the Outlands, making living in Avalon very well suited for smaller guilds who want to have a hideout of their own. If owning a hideout in Avalon is so safe, what are the downsides? Well, firstly, each wilderness zone comes with very limited resources and PvE content. Players will have to explore the surrounding roads of Avalon to find gateways to the open world, allowing them to bring in resources and gear or to export the goods they produced with the crafting bonuses of their hideout. Each Avalon wilderness region has its own unique set of crafting bonuses, and while none of them outcompete the deep areas of the Outlands, they can still be very attractive for crafters. A second downside of living in the roads is that you'll have to deal with the limited capacity and ever-shifting nature of the Avalonian gateways. If your guild has too many members, you'll be competing for the capacity of the gateways, and if your players are not careful, you may get stranded somewhere in Avalon with no easy way back to your hideout. Finally, perhaps the biggest downside for competitive players is the lack of territories for season point generation. While you can of course still compete in the Crystal League, work towards your guild challenge, and raid territory majors from your hideout, you'll find it hard to claim and hold territories. That may be a good thing, however, as it means your hideout in Avalon is not likely to become the target of the guilds competing for power in the Outlands. That said, there's no lack of action for guilds living in Avalon. The constantly shifting gateway connections always bring new and exciting opportunities for exploration and for conflict to your front door, especially when a gateway opens to another wilderness region with an active guild living in it. As you can see, there's a lot of finesse to living in an Avalon hideout, and we can't wait to see how players adapt to this unique environment. We have now reached the end of our series on the roads of Avalon, and we can't wait to go explore Avalon ourselves, and hope many of you are as excited about these new opportunities coming to Albion in the Rise of Avalon update on August 12th.
Are you excited, Bogul?
Very much. Very much.
Can we bring back Vendetta and like have 7 people living out of a hideout and call it Vendetta?
Sure.
Cool. I want to be relevant again.
I don't think that's going to happen with 7 people, but sure.
With the right 7 people, we could.
True.
We could do it.
True. The mystic raiders descending from the roads of Avalon onto your small territory, taking all your stuff and disappearing again.
Yeah. You give me a Scrubstance, you give me a Roselia. I got this. We're done.
Well, let's look at the Devtalk news post then a little bit. See if it has any other things that weren't mentioned in the video. I mean, part 1 and 2, if you haven't seen them yet, check them out as well, because they're sort of the precursor to all of this information. And that should give you a pretty complete picture of the roads. Other than that, the biggest news I feel like we got out of this was this whole energy crystal thing and how to place and attack hideouts, right?
Yeah, that's what this was mostly about.
Wow. Wait, I have a sound effect for this.
What was the sound effect?
Crickets being very quiet.
Yes, Bogul. We just watched a video on how to place the hideouts. It's going to be
It's going to happen, and
Yeah.
you can apparently attack these hideouts, which was the big
Anytime.
question. Anytime,
Yes.
if you have siphoned energy, the money,
Right.
and if you
Well,
walk
it has
up
to be
it.
well, that's the thing is it has a battle time. Each one
True.
has a battle time, which is gonna be hard. Like, how many of these do you have to go to find the one that's at the proper battle time for you? Like, yesterday, Bogul, we spent 3 hours going through different roads. Okay, and I was cheating with teleport. I found 2 different wildernesses.
That term wilderness, what do you mean by that? Because
The wilderness is off the beaten path of the road. And it's officially just any place that's off the beaten path of the road. But there are wilderness territories which have no roads. And in those wilderness territories with no roads, there are crystals. And around those crystals, these crystals that somehow push back the evil mist of Avalon. If that mist is pushed back enough, you can place a hideout. But you can only place, I think it's 1 per crystal, and
I don't know that. I have the. I took down the notes of that zone. Let's teleport to there and look at that, because I remembered that. What is this? All right. So looking at the I need to go invisible.
Why?
Because that thing is doing weird stuff here.
Pansies.
So that's one of these maps, right? You can see 1, 2, 3 sort of spoons that to me are the portal spawns, the portal spawn possibilities for the
portal spoons, as Bogul calls them.
These mist clusters, and then some of these pockets here, they are a little bit fatter, right? And if you go there,
if you come over to me, Bogle, you can come to me.
I'm at one.
You found
well.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And you find these crystals, and then if you click them, there's the information you can place down. I sadly don't have a hideout kit in my inventory, but you would walk here and place it down, and then presumably you'd only be able to do it during the prime time, right? So that is a thing that doesn't show up in every zone, and the bonus also doesn't show up in every zone as well. That's only for these zones here. And then you plop it down. And we were wondering, sort of, because I immediately said, oh, okay, I'll just put my guild in here, and then I'll put down a hideout next to all of the crystals, and then nobody else can come here, and then I'm safe and happy.
Right. And then I looked up the rules for hideout placement. You can only have 1 hideout per zone per guild, Bogle. And they have to be 180 meters away from the closest hideout. So I'm not sure if there's enough room to put a hideout on one side of a crystal and then another hideout from another guild on the other side of the crystal. I think each one of these crystals has enough room for like a hideout.
And it looks pretty spacey. It looks at least like there could be
180 meters.
Yeah. I mean, if you put down 1 south of the crystal and 1 north of the crystal, maybe. And then if you look closely at the map, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these crystals in here. So that means you would have to make 8 alliances, maybe 16 if you can place 2. Or 16 guilds, and then to cap out a zone.
Well, you can only have a certain number of them per zone anyway. There is a cap per zone, Bogle, according to the rules.
Right. In theory, 6 only, right?
No, it's per guild.
Per guild. Damn it! How many can be in a zone? Does it say?
Well, they had structured it before so that the max that could fit into one was somewhere between 11 and 12. There's very few zones with more than 8.
Yeah,
actually, because of the way people have placed them and all the restrictions on placing them. And I just don't think that there's enough room on that crystal.
Yeah.
I mean, we could try it, and it could be like our goal over the weekend is to get back here with enough stuff to try to build 2. But
maybe. Maybe somebody has tried it from chat and can just tell us, by the way. But another problem you have in these zones is that apparently the hideout placeable areas don't have as many resources as the other roads.
No. They're kind of sparse. Bogul.
Yeah.
There's not much to do in here.
Low level, maybe a dungeon or two. And
yeah,
then,
just a bunch of low level stuff. No places to farm. Sabotage is right. You have to leave to get. You still have to feed these places every day, which means you might have to go. Like you're gonna have to leave your zone, go through all the portals every day, make a map of the way to the closest city, and it's gonna be the closest city. You're not gonna be able to go. Ooh, we're going to Martlock again for cheap food prices. Yay! Thank you, Arch. No, you're not gonna be able to do that. You might have to go to Fort Sterling.
Or like imagine if you go through that portal and then you go through another zone of the road and then through another zone, and then the only connection you have to the Outlands is like centering deep Outlands. And then you're like, oh crap.
Oh, it's Nikes.
Yeah.
Like you have one way out and it's like, in the middle of Archland.
I think you're going to skip food transport on that day then.
I think you're going to want to have your stuff fed for a few days at a time. Maybe have some cabbage soup stored inside your hideout for such days.
I mean, you can feed up I think the level 3 hideout, you can feed up to 30 days, right? So there's some room you have. And in my little experiment that I've been running, one person, if you have, you can get enough food in to keep it alive pretty easy. With one dude just being on feeding duty. One thing I was trying out is how many zones it takes on average to get from the Outlands to one of these deep livable zones. Yeah. And what I found, I think, was 3. So
that's not too bad.
So there's going to be one that isn't connected to the Outlands, and the next one should be, I think. Yeah. Highstone Grassland, Glacier Peak Summit, Habitus Exemerom. Yeah. So that seems like an okay trip to take, right? 3 zones with a Diabor is pretty fast.
Yeah, if it's safe.
If it's safe. Yeah.
Like you don't have like 7 different paths you can choose to take here, Bogul. You have 2 different roads you can go down, and one's going to lead you into the middle of nowhere, and the other one's going to lead you 3 zones to the nearest out, and you're going to be like, okay, I can get out if I go through here, but the second zone is currently being patrolled by Elevate, and they have 10 guys in here, and they're currently just hanging out on the road looking for funsies. I really need to get some food. Let me see if I can't call some friends.
I mean, and then your friends also have another limitation. Assume you're living then in that zone, and you're trying to move back and forth, and you're looking at, all right, let's go back to the entrance then, and you're like, oh shoot, we only have 7 people who can go through, or less, or maybe 20. And that's, I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of very interesting strategies to sort of deal with that. Do you do stacking, right? Do you do active like portal duty, and do you have priorities? Who in your
think
guild
about
can go through and who doesn't? Who needs to wait or something?
Yeah, like you know how hard it is to get into the Prime Fame group sometimes when you're not that cool guy in the guild. Just imagine being the poor, uncool guy in the guild who doesn't get to use portals.
Who doesn't get to leave the zone? Oh my god!
Yeah, guys, sorry. We already sent 7 through this hour. You gotta wait. Yeah, go fish or something. What do you mean there's no place to fish in the zone? I don't know. Go crop down some trees. We need some level 1 wood. Go get it. Come on.
I mean,
do some stone gathering, please.
What you can still do, right, is go to your hideout if you have one there. And then go strip naked and then teleport to the cities, right? I think that should be there. I don't think we know whether or not you lose your home if you go that way, but I think it should just work like any other hideout. as far as I'm aware, right? There's one thing I wanted to ask chat. If all these nodes are taken, like if it goes to 0 out of 7, how long does it take to recharge the nodes? Do you know?
Somebody said 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Per 20 minutes, okay. Per dude? That's a long wait. In that time, you go back, you do an expedition, you go eat a sandwich, you hear your friends in the different group go, oh my god, we found them.
Bogul, I hate to interrupt you, but we have a special announcement.
Oh no.
Robin Hooders just informed me that we have 999 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We need one more. If we pull like this off and get that one more person to sub to that YouTube while we're doing the show, I'll pull an extra raffle. I'm going to pull a raffle right now, though, because, well, I feel like it. Gold 99912, Floridian Slip, and Undepth. Bogle, do you know much about Florida? Or the mythical Florida man?
I know the Florida man meme, yeah.
Okay. So what do you think a Floridian Slip is?
A curse?
Is that like when you go to Walmart and your boob falls out? Just wondering. Accidentally forget to leave your gator in the car when you go to buy booze?
Maybe you fall off your scooter because...
High on meth?
Oh. No, because you're fat.
That's even, come on. No, that's just a dig at Americans. I was picking on Florida. Come on.
Oh, all right. Well, nice.
Floridian Slip, you won gold. That's the point here. If you can whisper me, you've won. Congrats to being harassed.
Wow, but thank you all for that 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty nice.
Wait, did we get it?
Yeah, it's at 1K. Yeah, we
we did it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Then I got to pull more. I'm gonna pull 2 more raffles on that one, guys. Get in the raffle right now. This is your last chance. We're after the point where the show makes sense. We're into what we call overtime, where things get crazy. I'm pulling another raffle or 2.
Let's see. Is there anything else from that video?
Wow, that went crazy. That went from 39 to 62 real fast. Oh my god, did Sabotage call this? Did Sabotage just say it will be me? This thing is freaking rigged. This is rigged. Rigged. Okay, we have to pull another one on that. Somebody else want to say it's going to be me? Gans 420 says it's going to be him. It's not. It's Fredder. It's Fredder 4. You lost. You were wrong.
Oh.
You were not allowed to win anymore. I'm sorry, Gans.
Well, congrats anyway. Congrats, guys.
Actually, so far, let's see who has claimed their prize. Has everybody claimed their prize? If they haven't, I can pull one more. Yeah, nobody's claimed their prizes. Guys, you have to claim your prize.
Oh, one thing we didn't talk about that Robin talked in that video was the downsides of having a hideout in over there. We sort of said that the zones kind of are low tier, and you have to go and venture and bring food. That's how we got on that tangent, by the way. And he also said that, of course, there won't be season points you get from owning crystals, right? You only get them from owning towers. That's true. And I mean, supposedly it's also safer, right? I saw a bunch of people immediately go, oh, I don't, rent.
Yeah, I worry about like what the strong arming will be in here, because I think it's going to be easier to harass people than what we're hearing. I have learned not to underestimate the very, very organized here.
Well, my dream was to sort of establish a few pit stops in the mists, right? As like a personal play goal. I just put down a few hideouts and then sort of pretend to be the your fuel stop, right? You walk around and go like, oh, look, this is Bogul's thing. Maybe I can fuel up. The problem is that I The more I think about it, the more I don't know what I would want to sell there because it's super hard. Maybe refining only. I don't know. I might need a few friends soon.
Well, Bogul, we're going to go over to our Pony and Friends channel after the show. We're going to tell them that Vendetta is back. We've been being pestered for about a month. We will choose somebody interesting to be the guild leader. Not one of us.
My alt.
Yeah, I think your alt is a good choice.
Probably
the most interesting one out of the three of us.
Yeah, then we'll put down a hide and see. Sure, I'll take that. All right. One big thing that we sort of had on our docket today for today's show is the test server patch notes Rise of Avalon. I think we're left down to either ask chat whether or not they have spotted something really cool in these patch notes, or if you have a few things that you want to point out.
Well, I'm not done talking about the downsides of living in the.
Wait, there's more?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we kind of did go over a lot of them, didn't we? You have to feed it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
Defending it sounds like it's gonna be super easy, and this is something I wanted to talk. I guess, yeah. How do I say? Like, it's not necessarily a downside; it's a weird side.
True.
Like, I don't know how you're gonna be able to take one of these down if it's level 3. Like, and it's a downside to attacking it, I guess, because a level 3 with 7 people, so you can get 7 people in. Like a 7-person portal before it closes. 7 people over 20 minutes is not going to get a hideout down, a level 3 hideout. It's not going to get a shield down, even if there's nobody attacking you.
Yeah, I mean, once in a blue moon, you might have a bigger portal, right? And you can get like 20, and
you'd have to, like, say if what we understand is true about those 7-man portals, you'd have to every 20 minutes for 2 hours send somebody through.
I don't think that's entirely unreasonable to do, but I also think that it will very much be possible, but it would take longer, and that's cool. That's really nice. The good thing about this is if you defend it, you sort of have to think about your opponent's strategy, because they will have to scout it, right? So they will have one dude who is in that zone always just to scout it, and then he will just communicate the way in and way out, right? And the other guys, if you plan on a 5-day successive siege of that thing, have to keep their characters there for 5 days and survive more or less every single day.
Well, I feel like it really makes, how do I say, like, if you want to take somebody's hideout down now, it makes it a full investment if you want to move into their zone and take it out.
I like the idea. I mean,
it makes it much harder. I think it'll be much harder to do the renting that we see already going on. But if they can figure out how to do it, it makes breaking the rental system all that much harder. You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to make a rental place.
Like, well, that's what I'm saying. If somebody decides to rent out an entire zone, for example, I hate to do this, but we're going to use CIR as a known renter. Actually, let's use Sun. It's more fun.
Okay.
So Sun decides they're going to put a hideout in there, right? And they're going to put 150 alts in that hideout.
Sun alts, yeah.
Sun alts. And they're going to say anybody can move in there if they're willing to pay 1 million silver a day.
Sounds like a good business.
Good business, right?
Yeah.
And those guilds can move in there 60 to 30 to 60 people for their guilds, and then Sun, with just its force of alts inside that guild, can just leave them there. And if anybody does decide they want to fight back and not pay the money, they all log in.
I mean, I'm all for diplomacy and all, right? It's I think it's much harder to do, but if you can keep that up, I'm not against. I mean, I don't know. I think it's fine so far.
Okay. Well, I think it'd be interesting to see if somebody can pull it off, and I think they will.
True.
I think that there are people who've invested so much into the rental system, they will see this as just another tool for rent. I've told you about my friend who owns a street.
No.
Yes, I have. He owns an entire street. And he did that by kicking everybody out of the street. Then he bought it. Yeah. Straight gangster shit. That's what people are going to do here with these zones. They're going to move in a powerful force into one area, hold that hideout, build it up, and then rent out those other 7 spots.
I'm fine with that. I mean, that's why we have tribute in the game, right? In the hideouts, how's tribute going to... No tribute in the...
There's no tribute. Yeah, you got to hand that over or get crushed.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's no going, I'm going to stop you from attacking my hideout. They're just going to keep coming.
But but again, if you're big enough to have your guys at the hideout, and if you're big enough to sort of spawn and reinforce from your hideout, and if there's not going to be 400 people in that zone, hopefully.
Mm-mm.
I mean...
Not at any given time.
If they... I am going to call that at some point in Albion, one of these zones will be cluster queued or capped.
Oh, for sure.
Or something
for sure.
like that.
Somebody's going to say we're taking down, like some alliance. Let's use Arch, which has so many guilds that they could have a full 8 guilds in there, each with their own hideout, each with about 100 people in the guild, and 50 of them could all zone out at once. And yes, that would totally cluster queue the crap out of that zone. And Arch by itself, with just its 8 guilds in there, could cluster queue it. I don't know. You know, it would be interesting to see.
Mosef says hard cap 20 people for the zone.
No, not that I've heard. What? No. I will look into that, because that just sounds like
you can get 20 people through a portal. That's the biggest size portal, but you can't.
Yeah, but you can have more people in the zone. Like, yeah, the biggest zone. From what we were told, it's 20 people. Well, if you were told and you're telling us that, you're telling us NDA information. You probably shouldn't do that. From what we have been told, we've not heard anything about that, and we will send off a message as soon as we're done with the show to see if there is a zone cap.
Because that's pretty interesting. I mean, or important information. But I also don't think it's the portal size what you're referring to.
Yeah,
I believe.
Portal size at 20, yes, but not heard anything about zone cap.
Or 22, yeah. Let's go find a big one.
There's a big difference between portal caps and zone caps. So I don't think that... I think it would be very hard to have any guilds living out of a zone if there were only 20 people allowed in a zone at any given time. And then it would cap. Because then you would see hideouts with guilds with more than 20 people, putting them into the zone, and then nobody else could leave their hideouts. Nobody else could enter the zone. Yep. That would not be a good way to work that.
I'm also calling bullshit, but all right, let's move on. Anything else we have on the docket? Any comments from chat that you discovered on Playground, maybe, or on Playground, on staging? Otherwise, I'm going to talk about the new client languages.
Ooh, you like languages, don't you, Bogul?
Yes, it's.
How many do you speak?
Just 3.
That's 3 more than I do.
What are you using right now to communicate with me, sir?
Grunts.
Grunts and noises?
Yeah. Somebody could call them a language when they're kind of put in the proper order. Mm.
I wanted to mention briefly that there is a test server patch notes thread in the Rise of Avalon in testing forum section. There is this whole part of the forum now, partially, that is dedicated to the Rise of Avalon update, bugs and feedback, and it's quite active. So if you have been testing, if you have been looking around, if you have opinions or if you found issues, go ahead and go to the forums and report some of the things you saw. There's also some other threads by the devs. I think Retroman is in here. Avalonian Weapons and Offhands. He discusses some of the upcoming changes to the current balance. Then there is one more thing in regards to the item spec split. What's it called? Destiny board progress information. Basically, there was some talk on the forums that people discovered after they saw the nodes not being full, right? So if you have 100 now, you will have, I think, 88 of that node.
83 is what we were just told a little while ago.
I think in the thread it says 88 somewhere.
Oh, it says 88 in the thread? Okay. I'll take the thread over the player.
It's 5 hours ago that this was made, by the way. So, and he discusses this sort of split, right? And the point of the split is to preserve the current item power bonus that you have. So you shouldn't have less item power after the update hits than you have currently, but some of the nodes will be, open more. And people don't like the idea. People go like, wait, you're removing my capped out Destiny board?
Yep.
I don't like. And that's the current sort of discussion in there. If you want to go take a look or voice your opinion.
So you're supposed to be as powerful as you are now, but they're making artifacts more powerful.
No, they're just making more nodes, and the node has a little bit long open ender, right? So you're missing 12 points in that spec.
But then if you fill that, if you're at the same item power that you were at before now, right? And you have less full nodes.
You can get more
powerful. And then
powerful,
you fill
yes.
the node.
Yeah.
Do you get more powerful?
Yes.
Then yes, so you can now get more. That's what I said. Artifacts are more powerful.
Yeah. But still, it's like, wait, I had this capped. I don't want to level it again, which is the sentiment.
I think people would rather be stronger.
I also think that's fine, but it doesn't look as pretty.
Nothing ever looks as... No. Some people are completists, and there are people out there who are mad that they cannot get everything, or that now other people can get the things that they once get that were once only gettable by them. Yes, people are crazy, but we cannot satisfy all people all the time.
As I said earlier in the show at the beginning, I will have the maxed out crafting Destiny board for about a week.
And you're going to be so ticked off.
And then it will be like, here we go again. It only took 3 years.
It's the longest part of it, too. Take a picture.
Yeah, I will do that. I might even do a giveaway to the stream or something.
Ooh, if you did it on stream, I'd give away something.
Yeah, well, maybe. But any other things? Patch notes. Yes, I wanted to mention very briefly that they are going to add a Chinese and Korean localization for the game, which is something I personally have been waiting for a long time because I studied that for a while. And I was like, oh,
Chinese,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool, Albion in Chinese. I will try something in the background while you talk for 5 minutes.
Oh, like a straight 5 minutes?
Yes.
Somebody in a chat, give me a topic, or I'll end up talking about Tiger King. All right, so those new satchels. Yeah, I think those new satchels are very, very interesting. I do think of it as a silver sink, just like a tax. I think if it's a new way of allowing people to just focus on getting fame, I think it's good. I know that there are people out there who don't think that the average players where the silver sinks need to occur, and that the silver sinks need to occur at the high end. But I think that anything that allows players to catch up is good. And I do still feel that grinding fame, even with all the cool new dungeons and the new ways to get fame and the new ways to play and the new dungeons themselves, a lot of them are very cool. But I still find that grinding to complete one of my trees is still the least enjoyable part. I don't like having to be on that 8-hour grind fest. And I would love to have something that speeds it up. I would love food that speeds it up too. Give me a bag, give me food, let me waste my energy on overcharging my fame. Give it all to me. Yeah, let me waste other people's energy so I get more fame. This sounds like an amazing idea. Why didn't anybody think of that? Overcharge my fame buff. Yeah, but no, I like the idea of a good bag that changes the fame.
Yeah. I asked and I got permission to show this a little bit. They're currently working on that, but it's partially already in testing, right? So the Chinese version, for example, is already there. It's just nice. It's nice to it's simplified Chinese and Korean, and I think you can copy paste into chat as well. So the chat, I tried to type in Chinese in chat, but that didn't work. But copy pasting did, which was weird. But it's just cool. It's cool to see. It's simplified. It's not traditional, so that's a pretty easy fix, sort of, to move that over, at least on a basic level. But yeah, that's just cool to see. We got Korean soon. We got Chinese soon. I don't know what's on the horizon then in the future. Also, I like how they call it. Down here is the RBNOL. Is Albion Online. I like the OL as like a shortcut for online.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
anything that shortens it.
OL?
Bogul, Robin Hooders just dropped some info in here.
Oh, what's up?
Solo dungeons in the black zones will now close after a few minutes like they do in the blue zones.
Oh.
That will make people a lot happier. Anything to cut down on the ratting. I like being able to go into them when they're,
What about diving?
Stuff to do.
What about dungeon diving and all?
Well, that's what random dungeons are for.
You mean the corrupted solos? Oh.
No, random dungeons. Okay, there's random group dungeons, there's random solo dungeons, and then there's corrupted solo dungeons.
Yes. And I think that the statement was that the solo dungeons are going to be
solo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, are solo.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Shh, don't tell anybody. Random dungeons still good for group dive, right?
I suppose.
Yeah. I think that would be I'm pro having the solo dungeons close after a few minutes. I'm anti having random dungeons close after a few minutes. I think that there should still be something to dive, and some PvP in there. Now, with the solo dungeons, I understand that, you could still have it if you're quick and go in there right away, and that's fine. But I think this is more not to prevent PvP, but to prevent the whole somebody's ratting dungeons and you're going in and just bored as hell because every solo dungeon you go into for the next hour and a half has already had all the treasure stolen. It's lame. Nobody likes that. Let's see. There was another actually good question here. Let me go up and scroll up. Keeper of Nature. New royal weapons incoming to balance out the new artifact armor split. Also, can you get my character Infamy on the test server so I can try out the Slayer difficulty? I can't do that for you. I don't have the tools for that. The royal weapons aren't coming. There are Avalonian weapons coming instead. And I guess that would be the new weapons that are coming. As far as royal weapons, I don't know about any of those. Do you, Bogul?
These were never ever mentioned or talked about.
Oh, Robin did confirm.
Robin
says that Robin did confirm that a second wave of new weapons are coming on Twitter. What? Heading to the Twitter now.
Our hankies.
Where?
Tweets and answers. Where? No. Where? No. Where? No. That's a lie. What? Please. Hello? Please. Don't.
Me? Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to chat.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm looking for Robin.
I am on Robin's and that there is nothing.
There's nothing there.
No. So please, chat. Please don't Please, no trolling. Get
That wasn't chat. That was Robin Hooders.
link it now.
Link it. You know the rule. Uh-oh.
Excuse me?
Hello. Just crashing the party. Okay, come on in, Robin.
Yeah,
How you
hello.
doing?
Yes, please tell.
Do you wish to have a link for the tweet?
Very fast.
Yeah.
Yes, we have
There you go.
4 minutes on the show. Wait, where is it? There's it.
Oh, here it is. These are the skinnies, some of the coolest spells we've built yet, and we like them so much. We're thinking about building another batch of weapons when we're through with the Rise of Avalon update. Doesn't confirm that he is making them. Says that they're thinking of making another batch of weapons because these were so freaking cool.
That's also like from a year ago. No, 26th of June. No.
That's 26th of June, Bogul. That's a month ago.
So
Yeah.
in Albion time, that is
It's
like
a long
500
time.
years, right?
Yeah. We're already on to new kings, new alliances, and new teams. All right. We already...
But in regards to royal weapons, right? Because we don't have royal weapons, right?
Right.
So that is a potential for adding things. And, if you do a faction rework at some point in the very long-term future, factions and royal, it kind of fits. So,
Robin, are you saying this was a reply to something else? Somebody said that this was a reply. Oh.
I remember seeing it. I think it was just like a quoted tweet. It could have been a reply to the official Twitter. I don't know. It was something. I remember seeing it. So.
This is the one that I got the one that was linked in chat here. This is as close as I got. I cannot find any more confirming statement than this. I already gave this one a like a long time ago, apparently. I think I also retweeted it.
Yeah. So there is new weapons coming.
What? No, that's not what that says.
Thinking it's confirmed. Thinking is confirmed.
Oh, okay. So, guys, now you heard it here first. When people are thinking of something, that's confirmed. Where's my Pega face?
But it doesn't give a time frame, so it could be in 4 years from now.
4 years from now, yeah.
Yep.
Could.
But it's coming.
I'm thinking really hard about transport contracts.
But they're coming, Bogul. Just not right now.
They
in
are.
4 years,
yeah,
maybe.
that's true.
See the problem with this?
They'll be here right after Dragons without tails.
Guys. We have to stick to the facts in this world of Albion. We are the most trusted news source in the world of Albion. How we can't report on random things. We can't.
Bogul, it's already after. It's in the overtime section of the show.
Can just make up shit.
You can just make up shit in the overtime section. It's confirmed. It's we've talked about this. Overtime. Once we get past 1930,
everything we say is random.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we've pulled enough raffles for the day. Oh, wait, no, we haven't. I need to pull one more.
Oh.
Ninja Bomb. So let me go. I'm just going to name all the winners. This does not mean you've won again. People get very confused when this happens. Ninja Bomb has won the raffle. Hoo-ha 1001. Fredder 4. Was Fredder 3 taken? Just wondering. Sabotage 420. Gold 99912. I imagine that all the rest of those golds were in fact taken. Floridian Slip, who we've mentioned a couple of times in the show today. And Undepth, the opposite of depth. You have all won the raffle. Whisper me to claim your prize. I know that many of you have. You are very good at this.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching this report on the work in progress nature of the Rise of Avalon on the test server. If you want to check any of this out yourself, just open a client, download the staging server. You can select it where it says live, I think, in the client before you start the game. Then you have to download it, patch it, and then you can hop into the cities to try it yourself. You see in the background here on stream There are various stones, so you can even unlock your whole Destiny board with that, and then go to the candy store, and the crafting is all free. You can make these things. The only thing you can't do right now, unless you know how, is to make it Chinese, but that will happen very soon as well. I think they're in the final touches of giving the localization a once over, so that's not final yet, as are a bunch of other things that aren't. I suggest you look at the forums and the bugs and feedback section of the Rise of Avalon in testing, if you have any feedback or if you found any issues, and give this thing a test run and try to break it so it works better in 2 weeks.
Also, try to figure out what you're doing in 2 weeks. Like if you're one of those mid-tier guilds, find out if this is something that you can get your guild to do. Get your guys out there, try to figure it out, spend a few days on it, see if you can't find a hideout and work your way to it a few times in a row. Like, figure it out. Learn what you got to do, because you don't want to wait until there are no hideout spots left and they're all owned and being rented out by... We need another guild to pick on. We already picked on 2. Fricks.
All right, guys. Any final words?
I think I just gave one.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 UTC with the Albion War Reports, where we do live ZVZs on a 15-minute delay. Wait, we're not here tomorrow. No, Bogul, what are we doing tomorrow? We have just
what's today?
Crystals.
What's today?
Today's Friday.
Oh.
Today's that means Saturday is tomorrow. Saturday, what do we have?
Crystals. Yes, crystals.
Yep.
With
Which numbers? 5, 6, 7?
5, 6, 7, yeah.
Okay, and that starts at 20:30 right here on twitch.tv/Albion Online. Is that correct?
Roughly, yes.
Okay, thank you, the business. All right. Thank you guys so much for the show. We will be back again tomorrow and on Tuesday. You guys are awesome.